Hello. So for this week, I'm going to try to address kind of two tasks at once here. One, as I stated in the last video, is to just get this studio up and running, and then the other is obviously to continue with the archive process. So to kind of make this a functional workshop, we need to be able to fire our pots, and the first stage in that is bisquing in this electric kiln. So this is an Econo kiln, model KR23, runs on 3030 watts. And you can see here that Jeff had it hardwired, which is really cool. But I got to be honest that I have zero experience with this kind of electric kiln. Anytime that I've been kind of allowed to work with them in other studios, they were the kind that they're digital, and you just beep, boop, 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 and off it goes. This one, though, works with the mechanical switch, where we use, let me get out of camera here for a second. Where it uses these tiny these tiny cones as a switch, and then when it reaches temp, and then the cone bends, it allows the switch to fall, and it turns the kiln off. So I've never used that before, so I'd like to spend some time with someone who has, and that's a friend of mine. He'll be coming in next week to kind of just confirm that I actually know what I'm looking at here, and yeah, we'll hopefully be able to start bisquing in the relatively near future. There are some changes, obviously, that, I shouldn't say obviously, but there's some changes that we'll want to make with this kiln setup once we clear out everything else in this room. Specifically, the changes that we want to do are in regards to venting. So the light that you can see that's on my face right now is coming through a window that's in this room. So in the meantime, what we'll do is we'll open up the window and put in a fan and just try to suck some of the fumes out. I can close all the doors in here, so it's completely sealed off from the rest of the workshop. So that's probably what we'll do in the early stages, but what we'd eventually like to see happen is to move our bisque kiln over closer to the window, and then we'll put a bottom vent in it, and we'll just suck the fumes out that way, and again pipe them outside. So that's what we're doing in regards to making this a functional workshop again, is just being able to bisque. And I should note that, as I'm sure you all know, this is only the first stage of the firing that we'll be doing here at the workshop. Jeff does have a gas kiln upstairs, so we'll eventually have to kind of get that cleared out, and then get propane, and then get that up and running. So maybe in the meantime, while we're working on that, what we'll do is maybe take some of the bisqueware from here and see if we can get some kiln space at the community college and do a wood firing. So I shouldn't say they, because I'm part of it. So we have a cone 10 wood kiln it's got a sprung arch. We've been test firing it for right now. So we've gone through 2 test fires. We've been able to get to temp in some areas of the kiln, but yeah, it's, you know, gobbling up wood for 3 days. The ash deposits are really nice. So I think that once we can kind of get some other little quirks settled, it'll be a really fine kiln. So I'll make sure that I share the products of that with you when that time comes up. But so again, the first, you know, part of this job is to get it so that we can get a functional studio. But the other part of this job is also part of the archival work that we're doing. And as I've posted in past videos and then also on our Instagram, we have a number of pieces that Jeff left behind that that have not been bisqued. So in order to preserve them, we're going to fire them in here, so that way they're just not as brittle as the greenware is. And we actually have a couple pieces in here, so I'll show them to you. Let's see here. So here's this little cup, and I think that you can see, I had it behind my face so it stops focusing on my eyes. But you can see where he's doing these early decorations going into the bisque stage. So you can see all the lines and then the dots. It's just fascinating. So he's got like these kinds of cups. There's a lidded jar in here as well. But yeah, just there's, you know, a couple things that I've already loaded in there, mostly to kind of protect the pots, because where they were originally, they're in a vulnerable position during the when we had contractors in here doing some of the apartment renovations. But yeah, so I'm going to collect the rest of the greenware around here. We'll load this up, and then we'll use those pieces to actually test fire this kiln to see that everything's working well. Because when I look in there, there's one of the elements, I think it's the third one up from the bottom, is it's a little questionable looking. So yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to go, but yeah, that's what we have on kind of the docket for today. There's a couple other kind of cleaning up things that I would like to do upstairs, but this is going to be the bulk of my work for today. So yeah, I'll try to remember to take some before and after photos and share those on the Instagram. And yeah, so we'll see where I am in a couple of hours, and then hopefully I'll see you again next week. So thanks for hanging out.